Yo, what's going on, G-Dot family? It's your boy G.TZ back with another VZ. Let's go ahead and get straight into it, man. You know, we got another banging ass video. I don't know what's going on, but apparently Memo 600, something happened to him. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully he alright, but let's go ahead and get straight into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. If anybody from Chicago is seeing this, move out the city if you want to have a better life, man. Just telling you, it's better to just come back and visit than to live there all the time. Hallelujah. Clap 2 times if you hear me. Let's get into it.
Come on, boo man. Your goof ass doing the dumb shit, man.
Hey, come on. My shit in the wash.
You got me in the middle of the trenches.
Come on, get your ass over here.
Doing all this gumpy ass shit. What's today's date?
I don't know if a lot of people know, Memo has a reputation of being aggressive. You know, he's been locked up in prison. He done caught multiple gun cases. This guy's like one of these street dudes. He got family members who been...
It was some jewelry missing because I got shot. I got shot in the arm on Lil Steve. Phil hit the ground, bam, watch came off on my kids, nigga. I'm finna sit here and be honest with you. Shit happens to nigga. Why would you lie and say ain't shit happen to you, gang? You human, something gonna happen to you, gang. Like,
I mean, do you want to address why, you part?
That's some real nigga shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, because a lot of people don't want to accept, like, in the street stuff gonna happen to you. And it don't be that you a hoe, it don't be that you soft, it don't be that you a P-word. Stuff just happen to people. You in the streets, you outside every day, you thug, you gang banging. Eventually, somebody might get you for your jewelry one day. Eventually, somebody might pop you. Eventually, somebody might beat you. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about what you do after that tells who you are.
Parted ways with OTF though?
yeah, I had to do my own thing. I feel like I wasn't supported enough, like 100%. I'm too hot. I got Uzi features. It's a lot of shit, gang, that supposed to have been way more than what it was that was swept under the rug and hidden.
I agree with
These
that.
whole ass niggas that Memo can't slide back to the block, can't slide the old block no more. Dirt them don't fuck with you. What the happened?
Hey, yo,
And
squad.
I just want to say the craziest part about that is after that he went back to 600 and put that nigga on camera and was like, what you was talking about. Niggas be crazy. That's like what Tay 600 said is true. You can't ban no nigga from the block, bro. Who the fuck? A, who are you? But B, like, if a nigga want to come back, a nigga can come back. What happened has happened, but a nigga can come back.
What's the drill? Back with another video, man. A lot of rappers talk about the streets, but Memo 600 is one of them ones that actually saw it up close and personal. Growing up in the south side of Chicago, Memo didn't just see the trouble of the gangs, he lived that life and came out on the other side in one piece. Along the way, he forged a rap career where he didn't have to compromise to nobody and rubbed shoulders with the greats like Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and the late great King Von. He rode with giants and still chose not to ride their coattails. He was a part of Durk's crew OTF, but left due to him feeling like he wasn't supported. So he decided to support himself, and he's been doing that ever since. But 2024 hasn't been all sunshine for Memo. He got caught lacking and months ago got his watch taken. This isn't the first time that some of his jewelry got confiscated by the ops somehow, but you won't ever catch him phased. He always keep it pushing. Yet and still, he's blessed to be alive and appears to be a new man with a new lease on life and ready to live it to the best of his abilities. So just who is Memo 600? How has he changed his life? How did his watch get snatched? We gonna find out. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Memo's story begins on May 17th, 1992, when he was born into the world filled with crime and poverty.
Well, I think like you the new one.
Yeah.
Trying to get up on me.
Well, if you want to interview me, that could be discussed. But we got to start with the early days of Memo. Where exactly did you grow up, and what was life like?
Yeah, I grew up in the projects on 49th State. Then we moved over east. Then from over east to the hundreds, from the hundreds to 600.
Now, one of the gangs that ruled the streets of the South Side back in the days was the Black Disciples, aka one of the most cold-blooded crews in all of Chirac. But BD's was so big that it had its own subgroups too. One was called 600. Anyone that lived on 60th and King Drive knew that 600 were running things. Since Memo and his bro...
I just want to make it very... See, a lot of niggas be trying to talk shit about Memo, talking about he ain't like that, he from the hundreds, his brother was woo-de-woo. Like, look, let me tell you something. To put 600 on your name, you have to have a body. Bare minimum. Entry level shit. Just saying. Now, a lot of motherfuckers came out and said, like, Memo was the first person to take him on a hit, and, like, Memo was teaching niggas how to do drills and stuff like that, so... think what you want.
Bro called the 6,000 block of South King Drive their home. They knew they had to join 600 if they wanted to survive. This ended up being a major decision that would change Memo's life, because the dude that actually started the gang was none other than D-Thang. In case you don't know, D-Thang was the brother of the one and only Lil Durk. Since Memo was now hanging out with rappers, he got into those circles and took up rap himself. This was around 2011, and Memo had just become an adult. He was 19 years old and had a story to tell, so the stage was set for him to have an amazing rap career. The sad thing is, Memo was too busy up in those trenches to take rap seriously, at least for that moment.
So you always just drawn to the street type like it was obvious to you that you were gonna, because even your early memories, it seems like you're talking about a lot of Chicago legends. You just always around that element?
Yeah, I always, because I know a lot of people, so I showed you we lived there, well, so everywhere we moved around, we was outside, so we bumped into a lot of people.
And what's more, he wanted to stay on those streets because of a very tragic reason. You see, on September 19th, 2011, Lil Steve got taken out by members of a rival gang called MOB.
How was that when you got the news that he was killed?
Like everybody, like every other tragic, you know? But you either you gonna take that shit, so I had to take that shit in.
You feel like you numb to the pain now? Like
I was numb for what? I was in shock. I ain't gonna say numb. When he got shot for like 3 years, gang, it still ain't hit me. I swear to God, it ain't hit me. I went to jail, got out, that shit hit me.
Word on the street was that two guys named Scrap and Moochie allegedly did it and got locked up for it later on too. D-Thang had been shot just a few days before this, so the ops was clearly trying to start something there. Steve was just 15 years old when he passed, and Memo was shocked to his core when he found out. He had just lost the only person in the world he truly cared about. This made him go down a pretty dark path. He threw himself into the street work and put rap on the back burner. He had strong ties to Old Block and folks that were big allies of 600, which meant that Memo had responsibilities on the streets. He had to fight for corners, and if anybody stepped to him, he had to step right back and show he couldn't be messed with. Memo fell off the deep end a bit here. He said he sometimes used to do things for fun and clout, even if it wasn't no money in it. That was just how life was for somebody living in Chi-Town. But this city ain't just about gangs, now is it? It's all about where music thrives too, where rappers like Chief Keef were bringing trap music and gangster rap lyrics together to make a whole new genre called drill. The new genre was taking the city over around the time Memo joined 600, and it inspired members of the gang to start spitting their own bars too. The crazy thing is, 600 ended up becoming the home of more great rappers than you can count. Like I'm talking L.A. Capone, Rondo No. 9, and Take 600. But if any of you guys are up to date on the drill scene, you'll know that a lot of 600 members also ended up behind bars. Rondo No. 9 is doing a 39-year bid for Hami. He's not the only 600 member who rapped during the day and caused havoc during the night. But despite that, D-Thang didn't just start a gang. He wanted to make it big in the music industry, so he started his own record label and rap collective called Only the Family. OTF had the backing of Lil Durk, who was coming up fast during those times. Members of 600 that knew how to spit fire were getting legit record contracts and earning mad stacks of cash. Memo 600 was one of them, but he was also a little...
That's honestly a forgotten fact that a lot of people don't talk about. Durk was signing almost all the guys, bro. If you really listen, okay, if you really from Chicago, and even if you ain't from Chicago, and you looking at these goddamn videos of everybody that's, you know, killing people and doing all this extra shit, Durk was signing them, bro. Durk was working with them, bro. Like, from Just Blow to he was working with Rondo. Rondo was out right now, and C-Day, E-Day, no, not C-Day. If C-Day was out right now, baby, you feel me? He be signed. Even when E-Day died, he shouted him out. He still was working like, bro, he signed like all the guys. He at least was kicking it with him. Now, what happened after that and between that and in situations, I don't know. But at first he was signing all the guys.
Late to the party. I mean, he didn't release music till 2016, although that might have been cause he didn't get over the loss of his brother. But when his first song dropped, the whole drill scene exploded at the new voice that brought gritty lyrics over the beats that you could dance to. And when he collaborated with King Von to release a remix for Exposing Me, his career really started to take off. Suddenly, people on the streets would walk up to him because they knew who he was. It also helped that he was in the video for 300 with Chief Keef, so people recognized him from that as well and were shocked that he actually had a sick flow. Honestly, it was Memo's approach to music that really stood out. He always says that his bars come from the everyday struggles that he went through that was hard. By 2019, Memo was ready for a record contract, and OTF was more than happy to bring him on board.
That part of the film, though, man. Stupid.
I'm telling you, signing the guys, nigga, real record deals.
We shut down Sac in Atlanta for this shit. Lights off a little bit.
Memo featured on OTF tracks and rode the wave until the label was the hottest thing in town. He collabed with Lil Uzi Vert and released tracks of his own, and his career started to shake up. Unfortunately, the good times weren't meant to last because Memo and OTF started falling out for a bunch of reasons.
I mean, do you want to address why, you parted ways with OTF though?
Yeah, I had to do my own thing. I feel like I wasn't supported enough, like 100%. I'm too hot. I got Uzi features. It's a lot of shit, gang, that supposed to have been way more than what it was that was swept under the rug and hidden. You feel me? A lot of shit. I really came up off steppers, bro, on my own. Like, bro, them just pushed me. Respect to him for pushing me, but, that support wasn't there, gang. I felt like it wasn't there.
Memo had that flow, but he felt like he wasn't getting the kind of recognition and attention that he deserved from OTF. In his own words, Memo felt unsupported by the label. OTF seemed more focused on names like King Von and Buka 600, even though Memo had brought some of the heat to the table. And then there was Memo's personal beefs. TTB Nez became his mortal enemy when he stole his chain, and this almost lost him some respect among his homies from 600. Nez went so far as to show off the chain on Instagram, which was a straight up humiliation for OTF.
Man, my grandma gave me that chain. My grandma gave me that chain.
Yeah, it do be shit like that. Like, I ain't saying sometimes a nigga might fall all the way out behind that, but sometimes it just be on some shit like, yeah, come get it back. Like, come get it out. You gotta go get that. Like, you feel me? Now nigga in the trenches with the OTF chain. Now you finna, the shit get dangerous. Now they finna be giving the OTF chain from gang to gang, and like, man, that shit get deep.
After all, a rapper's chain ain't just an accessory. It's not just about the bling. Those chains are a part of the identity. They define who you are and tell the world what you about. Memo getting his chain stolen was a big deal, but it's possible that Nez was just making it all up. Memo went live and showed everybody that he had his chain right there with him, and it wasn't no brand new chain either. No, this was a chain that he had been seen wearing, and it had wear and tear on it, which meant that Memo had been wearing it for ages. Nez didn't respond after that, so a lot of fans started to think that he was just talking smack with nothing to show for it. Of course, this wasn't the only beef that Memo had. He had called a fellow 600 member Damo a snitch in front of everybody, which caused tension between him and his gang.
No, it was Damo.
You called Damo a snitch? Who you snitched on?
Man, they got their little shit going on, I ain't trying to be in this like BA.
It seemed like every group Memo was involved in was falling apart. Half of the 600s were ending up in jail, and OTF was sidelining him every chance they got. Starting in 2020, OTF had got hit by two major blows that turned things up. The first was when King Von lost his life in a fight in November 6, 2020. The fight ended with Von being hit with bullets in the chest, and he passed away not long after that. This had a profound effect on Memo's career because Von was one of his biggest supporters. It also meant that OTF had lost one of his strongest and best performers, so the label was going through a tough time for sure. And get this, things were only going to get worse from there. On June 6, 2021, D-Thing, the man that started both 600 and OTF, lost his life outside a nightclub. The label was reeling, and Memo knew he needed a way out fast. This wasn't just about his career. His homies were getting gunned down left, right, and center. So it's fair to say that the streets were getting a bit too bloody for Memo. And when you factor in all the beefs he had going on with other OTF members, you'll start to see why he left. If there's one thing everybody can agree on is that Memo wasn't treated with respect by OTF. He has talent and personality, but his label never made him feel like it. The chain snatching incident I talked about earlier was just the first time something like that happened, with an OTF member, THF Zoo, saying that he had took Memo's chain too.
Goofy ass, sparking up all type of shit. You get on this internet and play and try to keep your name, nigga, you a duck, nigga. You know you a sin duck.
Zoo is probably one of the hardest rappers in town, so the constant aggression was getting to be too much of a problem for Memo. And to be fair, Memo didn't make things easier on himself either. He tried beefing with the Baby of all people, which led to the Baby calling out Lil Durk publicly and saying that he was in his DMs asking for mercy and copping pleas. That was yet another huge embarrassment for OTF, and the label needed a fall guy. When his old manager told him he's better off on his own, he finally made that decision to call it quits. There weren't any street politics involved and no legal disputes either. Both OTF and Memo decided it was best for them to part ways, and honestly, things have been going pretty well for Memo since he struck out on his own. However, the streets will always be the streets, and as long as you associate with them, things can happen. And something did happen to Memo a couple of months ago that led to him getting popped. His watch got taken somehow during that situation as well. The internet couldn't wait to clown him, but he cleared the air during an interview with DJU.
Hey, we don't know what happened when they found it. They got on the internet and started saying it was some jewelry missing.
On Lil Boo, it was some jewelry missing because I got shot. I got shot in the arm on Lil Steve. Fell, hit the ground, bam, watch came off. On my kids, ain't no gonna personally take shit off me, gang.
Ish happens, man, but when you blessed to survive, it make you look at things differently. Memo has been through a lot, and he knows he gotta move smart.
Man, these trenches. Come on, boo, man. Your goof ass doing the dumb shit, man.
Hey, come on, I shit in the wash.
You got me in the middle of the trenches.
Come on, get your ass over.
Doing all this gumpy ass shit. What's today's date?
Musically, he recently talked about an upcoming album that'll feature an unreleased song he made with King Von. He's looking to give his homie a tribute, sure, but this is also a way for him to remind fans of where he come from.
I ain't gonna lie, that's just... I would have moved somewhere and got a job, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that street shit too much. I would have started doing something else. Like, I can't keep doing this street shit. After a while, like, a lot of niggas start dying. I'm beefing with the guys. I'm getting sidelined by the same label that I signed to with the guys. And, like, it take a lot of heart. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Memo. It take a lot of heart to still be rapping after all that shit. Low-key going crazy. Still low-key, high-key pulling up on your blocks.